Not for the first time. Almost beaten by the lack of pace on serve. So, victory for Alexandra. She walked onto that clay court like she had something to prove. And honestly, music, she did. Alex Eala, first match of the clay season, against music, Julia Grober, the hometown hero, the crowd's chosen one. The player every local fan had circled on their calendar weeks before the draw was even announced. Music. The atmosphere was electric. The pressure was real and none of it touched Alex. Music. Not even slightly. What followed was the kind of performance that stops you mid-scroll, makes you put your phone down and just watch. Because you do not see tennis played like this every day. Music. You do not see a player walk into someone else's house, someone else's crowd, someone else's moment, and just completely own it the way Alex owned it today. This was not a close win that got dramatized in the highlights. This was a surgical, composed, borderline ruthless performance from a player who showed up to the Linz Open with absolutely zero interest in easing into things. She came here switched on from minute one. Music. And if you were watching, you felt it immediately from the very first point. There was something different about her. A sharpness, a clarity, like she had already played this match in her head 100 times and she already knew how it ended. Now Grober is no pushover. Let us be absolutely clear about that. She is a quality player on familiar courts with thousands of fans screaming her name and willing her forward with every single point. Music. That is not nothing. That is actually a massive advantage in professional tennis. Home crowds can lift players to levels they would not reach otherwise. They can tilt momentum. Music. They can get inside an opponent's head. But Alex has this quiet stubbornness about her. This refusal to be rattled. She started fast, took those first 2 points, set the tone immediately, and for a brief moment it looked like this might be over before it started. But Grober showed her quality. She steadied herself, fed off the energy in the crowd, leveled the scoreline. Music. And suddenly we had ourselves a real contest at 3 games all. And this is the moment that tells you everything about who Alex Eala is as a competitor. Because 3 all in the first set. Crowd buzzing. Grober finding her rhythm. Momentum starting to shift. Music. A lot of players hesitate there. A lot of players tighten up. Start playing not to lose instead of playing to win. Alex did the complete opposite. She decided right there that she was taking this match. Not hoping music for it, not waiting for Grober to make errors. Taking it. Every point from that moment felt like a statement. Every game went deep. Music. Went to the wire. Felt like a tiny battle inside the bigger war. But Alex found a way through every single time. Music. 6 points to 4 in the first set. On paper it sounds comfortable. In reality it was earned through grit, through belief, through the kind of mental toughness that cannot be coached into someone. Music. You either have it or you do not. Alex has it in abundance. Then came the second set and if anything, she came out even more locked in. 3 games in quick succession right off the bat. Grober suddenly on the back foot, the crowd urging her to respond, and for a moment she did. She started to claw her way back into it. You could feel the shift in the arena. You could feel that the crowd thought they might get their comeback story. And then Alex just shut it down. Decisive. Music. No drama, no panic, no wavering. She raised her level at exactly the right moment the way only elite players can. And she closed out the second set 6 points to 3. Match over. Statement made. But here is what made this performance so significant beyond just the scoreline. Music. Coming into the clay season, there were genuine questions about how Alex's game would translate. She had been playing on hard courts. Clay is a completely different animal. The ball sits up differently. The points are longer. The margins are tighter. The physical demands are brutal. And some players who are absolutely lethal on hard courts genuinely struggle to make the adjustment. Music. Nobody was doubting Alex's quality. But the question was real. Would the clay slow her down? Would it take her a few matches to find her footing? The answer she gave today was a flat no. She moved like she had been on clay for months. She constructed points with patience and intelligence. She did not rush, did not force. She trusted the process, trusted her legs, trusted her game plan, and it paid off in every single game. That is not an accident. That is preparation. That is someone who went into the off-season thinking seriously about what the clay season was going to demand from her and did the work to get ready for it. Music. After the match wrapped up and the crowd was still processing what they had just witnessed, music, Alex did something that her fans absolutely love about her. In victory, she went out of her way to genuinely praise Grober. Not the polite, scripted music press conference version of praise. Real acknowledgement, real respect for the fight her opponent brought to the match. She recognized how hard Grober competed, how tough that match was to win, and she meant every word of it. That is character. That is the mark of someone who understands that sport at the highest level is about human beings giving everything they have and deserving to be recognized for it regardless of which side of the net they are standing on. Music. And then she turned to her fans, the Filipino supporters who had made their way to this tournament, who had traveled or gathered or stayed up through the night just to watch her play. And she spoke to them in Filipino. She thanked them in their language. She made them feel seen. The place absolutely erupted because that moment was not for the cameras. It was not a calculated PR move. It was Alex being Alex. The connection she has with her supporters is one of the most genuine things in professional tennis right now. She carries them with her onto every court, music. And they feel it. But if you think the emotion of today was something, wait until tomorrow. Because tomorrow, Alex Eala steps onto that same clay court and faces Yelena Ostapenko. And the backstory here is everything. Music. When these two played before, nobody was giving Alex a serious shot. Ostapenko was in form, ranked higher, full of confidence, and had that explosive game that can dismantle opponents before they even get started. On paper, it looked comfortable for the Latvian. Alex had no interest in what the paper said. What happened in that match was extraordinary. Alex fell 4 points down in the first set and found herself staring at the very real possibility of losing it. That is the moment most players accept their fate. That is the moment where the head drops and the body follows. Alex did not drop anything. She locked in. She stayed calm under the kind of pressure that genuinely tests what a person is made of. Played the big points with ice running through her veins and somehow impossibly took that first set in a tiebreak 7-6. The crowd could not believe it. Ostapenko could not believe it. Music. And then the second set happened. Alex built a 4-point lead and looked like she was going to cruise home. Ostapenko refused to go quietly. She fought back, clawed the deficit to nothing, leveled the set, and turned what should have been a comfortable close into a knife-edge finish. And once again, Alex found a way. Calm where Ostapenko was emotional. Focused where Ostapenko was scrambling. 7-6 in the second set. Match sealed. One of the biggest results of Alex's career and a result that sent a genuine shockwave through the women's tour. And she did not stop there. She went on and defeated EJ in the very next round after that. That is the player Ostapenko is going to face tomorrow. Music. That is the form she is carrying. Now Ostapenko is dangerous. She is always dangerous. She hits the ball as hard as anyone on the planet. And on a given day, she can dismantle absolutely anyone. Music. She will be coming into tomorrow's match with revenge on her mind and something to prove of her own. But look at today. Look at how Alex moved, how she competed, how she closed out every single moment when it mattered. Look at the way she handled Grober's pressure and the crowd noise and the weight of a first clay match of the season and came through it looking like she had never been more comfortable on a tennis court in her life. The momentum belongs to Alex right now. The confidence belongs to Alex right now. And Ostapenko knows because she has experienced it firsthand that Alex does not crack when the pressure builds. She actually gets better. Music. Tomorrow is going to be something special. The clay season is underway. Alex Eala is already in the second round looking like one of the most dangerous players in the entire draw. And if today was the opening chapter of what she plans to do this season, then the rest of the field should probably start paying very close attention. She is just getting started. So tell me what you thought. Was today's performance against Grober everything you expected from Alex, or did she actually exceed what you thought she was capable of on clay? Music. And tomorrow against Ostapenko, does Alex back it up again and prove this is her tournament to lose, or does Ostapenko find her revenge and even the score? Drop your prediction in the comments. Every single one gets read. And if you are locked in for tomorrow's match the way we are, make sure you are subscribed because we will have everything covered from start to finish.